Okay, so we're here in the lab now, and I'm going to let Marie drive, which means she's going to operate the computer. So we've already, as you saw, our machines are all connected, so we're already at VS Core Maddog 79 where there was a failure. So I want you to go to Start, All Programs, Visual Studio, and just open it. And then we're going to open the test case, and we're going to run the test case and watch what happens. So go to File, Open, Project, and then type in d:/school, SCHOOL.
Okay.
All of our test cases are put in the school directory. It's like a legacy thing because there was the dean. Maddog used to be called the dean, and so we would put the test cases in the school, but we just always kept it at school. So then press Enter, and we're going to look for the test case that failed, the backspace general nightly. Oh yeah, the general nightly. And then just kill the solution. It doesn't matter. The solution only has one project. The lab got really quiet all of a sudden. Alright, now double click on backspace general. Yeah, general. One more. Okay, the file. Okay, so this is the test case code that you saw in TCM. And so we know that something bad happened in scenario 3. So I want you to scroll down. So we're going to count scenarios 1, 2, and 3. So I want you to put a breakpoint right at log manager in this scenario.
Okay.
Just put over there. Yeah, perfect. Now just set it at 5. So now we're going to run the test case. I wonder if I have to. I might have to copy an XML file. But let's see. Okay, good. So it looks. So now the test case is running, and we put a breakpoint there because I'm going to see what happens. Because if I just let the test case run and it has 12 scenarios, I'm going to forget where I'm at.
And then we're going to step through.
Yeah, just
we're running the scenario.
So then let them. Yeah, don't touch the mouse because. Leave it.
I'm leaving it.
Okay. Because it uses the mouse to see if the window has come up, and then once it can capture the window, because if you start clicking and moving the mouse, the automation framework is going to get out of sync, and as Josh would say, not good times. And so now it's going to create the file new project. Oh, okay. This test case has specific options that need to be set, so I'm doing that now. And if people are curious what I was doing, I can talk about that. So now we're going to create a new VB project. And now in the test case, it's going to add a file. And open up the file and paste in the log code. And this is actual code that, you know what? We forgot one thing. I forgot one thing, so I'm a bad mentor. I forgot to tell you that we needed to copy the test files. So I'm just gonna dump it here. Whenever we run the test cases on the machine itself, the files get put. Okay, check. I knew I forgot something. So we need these files. That's why it bailed out. It couldn't find these files. So whenever we run it locally, we need to copy these files directly into the school directory. And so let's do it again. It should be a little bit faster this time because it's run already once. Hopefully we'll be able to fast forward through this section. So let me talk about what's happening right now. Between each test case, we want to always start with a known state. So what we do is
Start up the ID.
So even before we start up the ID, we delete HKCU. we delete all the user's current settings so that we know they're starting in the known state every time. So that's why it's a little bit slow to start up the IDE. Or slower because we're doing a fresh, a first time launch every time. It's not good for efficiency, but it's good for quality because it helps us make sure that that if another test case didn't clean up after itself, that we're always starting in the known state. Otherwise, it would take some time for the test case owner to have to go back and backtrack. Oh, okay, but I can't. I know it's nothing with my test case. Maybe it was the test case before mine, or this one before that. So, and this time, just to make sure we don't have to rerun this, I'm going to put a breakpoint where we look for the files and make sure that it's actually looking in the right direction, the right directory. So this time we'll definitely succeed. I will force it to succeed. This is just what we do.
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens, yeah. So as you see, this is not. We have not rehearsed this in any way. This is a snapshot in the daily life of the tester. There it is. So
Completely impromptu
yes, completely impromptu.
on a Friday afternoon.
But you'll be in here working and you'll hear someone randomly yell at the monitors. And, I've been known to do that quite a few times. I get frustrated. And then on our local machines, we have hacks to speed up the shell, not to delete HKC, because we know what we're doing every time on our local machine. When we're writing the test case, we want it to be fast. It's just that in the lab runs, we want to make sure that we're starting from the known state.
So you can't touch the mouse at all while it's running.
While it's running, yes. So this time we are going to see exactly where it's coming from. So nightly read items. So we're going to. I know it's open for each drive, but I'm gonna just cheat here.
So what are you doing?
I want to see exactly what that directory is. So I'm putting it into the watch window. Yeah, and that's a bug I was going to raid, that I want to be able to copy just that from the watch window, but I'm just going to use the data tips. Old habits die hard. Data tips will not be copied either. Okay, that's a bug I'm definitely going to raid when I get back. 346, 356. 356, 356. It's cool. I want to make sure that the directory actually exists. Nightly read items. This is a new change. Okay, those files are definitely there, so this is the areas where this should succeed. I have to prove to me that it's correct. This is lovely. Come on, mouse. You can do it. Why can't I select it? Okay. I'm fairly certain it's right. That's the same directory. That looks, the numbers look right. Alright. F10, if it doesn't work, we're putting it on pause. Yes! Okay, now we're good. Okay, so we'll just pretend like the past 5 minutes never happened. And we're just gonna hit F5. Okay, and you're back in the driver's seat. So we're just running through the test case. The test case right now, it's verifying. You can hit backspace like at the beginning of the line. And that's not good. That means that something has crashed.
Alright, in the test case itself.
No, not the test case.
Studio.
In the Visual Studio. In the Visual Studio application that we're testing.
Okay.
So this explains why the test case fell out. It's got this blocking dialog. It can't get back to the editor. It can't get back to the editor. So this is after the crash. Test case timed out, and that's why we started deving at the end of the scenario. And why it's Visual Studio Compiler, because we were testing backspace, and we saw that I had backspace over class, which was colorized and other things. As soon as I hit backspace, the compiler had to kick in, the parsing of the source code, and it threw an exception. So now we know what bug we're going to look for, and so we're now going to go back to my office and analyze the failure.